Dude, you're rich!
What?
Bro, check your old crypto wallet. Orion coin is off the charts.
The number was too high for his digital wallet to even calculate. Kevin was now the richest man in the city, maybe even the world.
Honey, what are you doing up so late?
Nothing.
Nothing. Really? Doesn't look like nothing.
Really, it's, nothing. I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay.
Kevin was a great husband to Lily. He did all the chores. He rode this old junker around so she could use the car for work.
Kevin, where are you? You said you would help me.
Glad you could finally make it. With that traffic in the hallway.
Sorry, I was actually fixing my bike.
These dishes aren't gonna wash themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. I mean, you've been living in this home now for the last 2 years. Surely, yes, ma'am, I'll do some dishes. Clearly makes up for that.
Trust me, it's no vacation.
What was that?
I said thank you, Dorothy. You have been so kind to me and Lily.
For their entire marriage, Kevin had searched for a way to tell Lily. He was actually the son of one of the oldest and wealthiest families in the entire country.
You fool! You've wasted your entire inheritance!
What?
You're out of the family! Out! What the hell is Orion coin?
Grandpa!
I don't care. How could you say that? You're always so mean to him.
It's because I care about you, Lil. You're a boss, and Kevin, no offense, is an absolute bum. He's like the before picture of an Ambien commercial.
Oh my God.
Seriously, why do you stay with him?
He wasn't always like this. When we first met, he was confident and charming, and I don't know what happened, but I just feel like if I stay with him long enough, he might actually find himself again. I really love the man that he used to be.
But do you love the guy he is right now?
Sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, he's just been so closed off lately and the romance is gone. And if he could just find himself again, be the man that I knew him to be, the man that I know he can be.
You could be with any man you want. You shouldn't stay with someone out of pity.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I just spent my whole day putting out fires at work. We got a new contract last month and there was an error in some of the data. And now we owe the client $7 million. Someone offered to step in and give us the 3, but I still need to find the other $4 million by the end of the week, or the whole company goes out of business.
Oh my God. How are you gonna find $4 million in 1 week?
Kevin wanted to tell Lily that he'd just recently come into some cash. But fate had other plans.
Hello? Never thought I'd hear from you again. What's up?
Kevin, I was wrong about you. Your family needs you. We've gone bankrupt. The crypto you wasted your inheritance on, I know what Orion coin is worth now. Will you save us?
That's rich.
No, you are. And if you save us, I promise to find a way to make it up to you. You'll be a full member of the family again.
Do you honestly think that I would want that after everything you did to me?
Don't you want to be the man you used to be?
And if he could just find himself again, be the man that I knew him to be, the man that I know he can be.
What do you say?
Kevin's grandfather was right about one thing. Kevin was tired of being the shell of a man that he was. It was time he developed a spine and built his own empire.
Kevin?
More determined than ever, Kevin knew what he had to do. Kevin spent yet another night unable to sleep. Is he really the richest man in the world? It didn't feel real to him. Maybe he could finally be the man he was when he first met his wife.
Jesus!
Have you been playing video games all night?
What is wrong with you?
Oh, I don't know what my daughter sees in you. I'm using the car to run some errands. Why don't you do something useful for once and drop your wife off of work?
On it, ma'am. Crazy old lady. Hey, Lil, you ready to go?
Sorry, I'm running a bit behind.
Your mom's taking the car.
What?
We have to take the bike.
Okay.
Kevin could never get over just how stunning his wife was. A goddess in human form.
Lily, you look really beautiful.
Thanks, Kev. Oh, sorry. Can we go? I don't want to be late.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks.
You okay? You seem stressed.
Yeah. We just got the reports back this morning, and by the end of the week, we're filing for bankruptcy. We're meeting with all the major shareholders today. I just feel so terrible. It's all my fault.
Yeah, but it wasn't your mistake that started all this, so it's not your fault.
No, Kev. I'm the chairman of the company. I'm responsible for everything that happens. What?
Nothing. I just hope that this company cares about you as much as you seem to care about them. Have a good day, babe.
Thank you for the ride.
Of course.
Lily.
Anytime.
Hi, Bradley.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, so good to see you.
You really are having a bad week. You called an Uber bike to get here?
Oh, no, this is
You
my...
could have called me.
Kevin, Lily's husband.
Oh, you're the famous Kevin.
Yes, this is him.
You know, Rachel has told me so much about you.
Rachel?
She does a great impression of you, actually.
I bet she does.
Anyway, so glad I bumped into you. My heart aches for you and everything that's been happening with your company.
Oh, thank you, that's so sweet.
So sweet.
So, I got you a little gift.
What? You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, Bradley, you really shouldn't have.
Oh, that's,
Come on, let me put it on you.
no, it's too much.
I insist.
At that moment, Kevin had murder in his eyes. Saving Lily's company was one thing, but first he had to handle Bradley.
I'll do it. Her husband will put it on her.
Okay.
Be careful with that. It's a dream lovers. No!
Oops.
What the hell, Kev?
It's a fake. Dream Lovers necklaces cost a small country's GDP. And there's only 10 of them in the entire world.
So,
How could you?
It slipped.
Bradley, you lied?
I didn't lie to you. It's an exact replica. It cost me $100 grand.
Oh my God. Now, I am so sorry, Bradley.
So sorry, Bradley.
I knew how much you admired those necklaces, and you've been working so hard. I thought you deserved something special.
Bradley, I'm sure this really was a mistake. Right, Kev?
What she deserves is a real one, not some knockoff.
Okay, whoa, stop! I need you to apologize to Bradley right now. He's a representative at Williams Media. Remember the $7 million that we owe and then someone stepped in, so now we only owe $4? His company is providing the rest. Please, Kevin?
Sorry, I broke the necklace.
What was that? No, I didn't hear you.
Please forgive me.
Apology accepted.
All right, I'm going to work. See you at the meeting?
I know what you're trying to do. It's not gonna work. Stay away from my wife. I buy her expensive gifts, not you.
Honestly, I feel bad for her. She'll never have anything nice with you around.
Get out of my way.
You can't even afford a car.
Kevin was more resolved than ever to become the man Lily wanted him to be. But before he could take care of Bradley, he had to pay a visit to someone from his past.
Williams Manor. Home sweet home.
Kevin, my grandchild.
Let's skip the formalities, shall we?
I can see you've been enjoying your sabbatical.
Sabbatical. Is that what you call disowning your grandson?
Let's not dwell on events of the past, shall we? Please have a seat.
I'm good, Uncle. I just came here to talk. I thought about it, and I'll hear you out on 2 conditions. Number 1, by 6 o'clock this evening, you will get me an authentic Dream Lovers necklace.
Dream Lover?
I don't care how. I just want it delivered to my wife in secret. And number 2, you're gonna fire one of your board members. Bradley, something.
Mr. Williams was surprised at how much he liked this side of Kevin.
Consider it done.
Confidence oozed from Kevin. He was finally in his element.
So how much do you need?
Not a whole lot. Only around $8 billion.
$8 billion? That's not a lot. I was kicked out for way less.
Would you like for me to grovel, boy? It's not going to happen. Is it done? Your demands have been met. Now make the call. You will help us, won't you?
You really think I have $8 billion?
Don't play dumb. Just 20% of the stock you own is currently worth $9.6 billion. A number that is rising as we speak. Remember, you are a Williams too. This is your legacy on the line.
My legacy? Were you worried about my legacy when you kicked me out 2 years ago? You know I'm married, right?
I am aware.
You know, I got engaged the day before you decided to exile me. Did you know that? I have a new family now. And I'm not just gonna kick them out on their butts just to have your loyalty. You left me for dead, so give me one good reason why I should bring you back to life.
I'll help you build your empire. You want to be a man again, boy? You will be the most successful Williams family member to date. Wealthier than God.
Wealthier than God.
Finally, an offer Kevin could get behind.
Keep talking.
I'll let you have Williams meeting.
Isn't your wife the CEO?
Indeed.
You just love giving away things that don't belong to you.
My wife would gladly give it up if it meant saving this family.
Williams Media is our most profitable and high-profile company. The largest and most successful entertainment company in America. Think of all the celebrities we've signed. All that influence that will be loyal to your name. You'll start tomorrow as the chief executive in charge. You'll have a company and a purpose. What say you?
Hey, babe. Hey, listen, I wanted to apologize for taking Bradley's bait earlier.
No, it's okay. I was actually calling to apologize to you. I've been...
You've been stressed lately, so I get it. I shouldn't have let that get under my skin.
Just that is the best chance I have at saving my company. He reports directly to the Williams family, and that's like the richest family in the city, so it has to be done.
Little did she know, Kevin was now at the helm of that family. Her company's fate was in his hands, not Bradley's.
I get it. Listen, everything's gonna be okay. All right?
Anyway, I have to go back to work.
Yeah, I should go too. I have that college reunion lunch to get to.
Oh yeah, right, I forgot. Oh, hey, listen, could you find the time to pick up a suit before my family's dinner tonight? It's just, you know, my family can be so judgmental, and it would mean the world to me if you could just make a good impression.
Yeah. I'd do anything to make you proud.
Talk to you later.
Of course. I love you.
Oh my god, that is so embarrassing. Like, how does our chairwoman get married to a man with a broken motorbike? Tragic. It was like something you'd see in the dump. Him or the bike? No, okay? Then get this. He said he was going to buy her a dream lover's necklace. Can you believe that?
Completely delusional. Hey! That's enough. If I were you, I wouldn't speak about things you know nothing about.
Sorry, Miss Jones.
Lily knew that Kevin wasn't an idiot. She just wished he'd stop living with his head in the clouds. Maybe they both could give their relationship another go. She hadn't given up on him yet.
I hope you're not wearing that to the Jones family dinner.
It's actually for something else.
I don't care. You and Lily have been married for over 2 years now, and still no children.
Excuse me?
Does your family have any genetic history or issues with fertility?
Are you questioning my manhood? Both of my parents are very healthy, as far as I know. And there are no genetic oddities on my side.
Oh, so you're saying the fault's with my side of the family?
What? No.
I don't know your parents, so why don't we schedule a doctor's appointment for you to get tested?
Are you just looking for reasons to break up my marriage?
Why are you getting defensive?
You know, Dorothy, I can't with you.
Where are you going?
Kevin Williams, what's up, baby?
Tucker, what's up, man? How you feeling?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm good.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. Is that your new whip out there?
Yeah, ain't she a beaut? Yeah. And you look eccentric as ever. Please tell me you're not riding the dirt bike still.
Yeah, of course I am. I mean, it's the first thing I ever bought with my own money, so, you know.
Yeah, well, we both got a bit more to spend now. You never did tell me how much you made.
Oh my god, Brittany!
Brittany was the most popular girl at Kevin's college. A few years ago, she'd made it big after a string of commercials.
You're so stunning. You're perfect.
Would you look at that? A Star is Born.
Yeah, I would have thought she would have left the city by now.
She's about to. Entertainment Weekly says she's on the up and up. She's gonna be a super celebrity before you know it.
Well, I wouldn't want to brag.
Of course not.
Oh, you're so sweet. Okay, fine. Someone is signing with Williams Media in the next couple days. Someone like moi.
Williams Media, huh? You hold my drink.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey.
Kevin. Kevin. Ew, what is that outfit? It's very disgusting.
Yeah. Kevin, did you dress yourself today? Or like ever?
So nice talking to you guys.
Still talking to us?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's still there.
Hey, dude, I gotta go. My wife wants me to pick up a suit before I head home.
Really? You? Well, I hope you don't need it tailored.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want it to be nice, right?
For tonight. Oh, bro, you're gonna need a miracle worker to get that finished in time.
Who needs a miracle worker when you're the richest man in the city?
Hey, I need another favor.
Lily finally understood what it felt like to be seen by a man. As she touched the rare stone, she thought of how unhappy she'd been this last year.
You look beautiful, Lily. You deserve this. You worked so hard.
I only wish you'd allow yourself more happiness in life.
She deserved this feeling. She'd held on to this dream with Kevin for far too long. For the first time, she felt ready to let go. Not because she didn't love Kevin, nor because she had any love for Bradley. She was simply ready to love herself.
That's okay.
She had made her decision. Tonight, she would tell Kevin it was over. However, that decision seemed to fade away right then and there. In that moment, Kevin was the most handsome man Lily had ever seen. Not a hair out of place, and in a custom-fit suit perfectly tailored to accentuate his body.
Forgot how fit you were in a suit.
Well, your mom's watching.
She was just about to leave him, but in that moment, she never wanted to let him go.
Finally, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Suddenly, she had no idea what she was going to do.
Oh my God! If it isn't my favorite cousin.
Cousin Jason, hi.
It's so nice to see you again. I love that dress. And Auntie Dorothy, radiant as always.
Jason.
Oh, Kevin.
Jason.
Good to see you finally dressed like a gentleman for once. That's a nice suit. Was it on sale?
My daughter gave you $1,000 to buy clothes and you bought something on sale.
No, of course not.
Always such a cheapskate.
It's not cheap.
Well, how much did it cost then?
I don't know. It was a gift.
Oh. So they took one look at you and felt so bad that they offered you something for free?
No, it's not.
Come on, let's just sit.
Suit's not cheap, Lil. I mean, it's better than whatever that is.
Excuse me? This is a $20,000 suit. See, I actually respect this family enough to show up in style. Want a piece of advice? Leave before you embarrass her further.
Thanks, Jason. But I don't need your advice.
Who told you you could touch me? You're dirtying my suit.
Your measly $20,000 suit? I'm more concerned that I might get soil on my hand by touching it. You are right about one thing. Lily and I do prefer to dress a little bit more casual. However,
What are you doing?
she does prefer fine jewelry.
Is that a dream of hers? Am I seeing correctly?
Oh my God, that's like every woman's dream.
Kev, you knew?
It can't be. There's only 10 of those in the world.
Believe it.
Is it really real?
Where did you get it?
I'm not sure it was a gift.
Where would your family find the money to buy such a rare piece of jewelry?
It's none of your business how much money my family has. We don't answer to you.
Kevin. Jason, forgive Kevin. He can't hold his tongue. Where are your parents tonight?
Dorothy was looking for a diplomatic solution, but Jason wasn't having it.
My parents are overseas on company business. Unlike you, they're not lazy. What do you do all day except get your little son-in-law to wait on you hand and foot?
How dare you? What on earth is going on in here?
Grandma!
The Jones family matriarch. She built this family from humble roots to the small empire they had today, using both grit and class.
Zip it. Now, I am hungry enough to eat this centerpiece. Somebody bring the food in. Like, I know it's understanding, but I have something to say.
Kevin was very hungry, and the food looked so delicious. He didn't really care what anyone else thought about his table manners.
I learned earlier today from a very reputable source that the CEO of Williams Media has changed. For years and years, our family has attempted to partner with Williams Media, but time after time, All of our offers have been rejected, but this young man may be the promise of a new generation.
Kevin was amused. The old bat was well informed.
If anyone can form a partnership with our families, I am prepared to reward them handsomely.
I can go. I'm great at communication.
Grandma, pick me. I'm friends with the third floor receptionist.
I could. I'm friends with Bradley Smith. He's on the board at Williams Media.
JJ, why don't I let you take this one on?
Of course, Grandma. I won't let you down.
Sorry, something in my throat.
If Lily were to form a better relationship with Williams Media, maybe her own company Siren Corp would be saved.
Hey, don't worry. Jason won't be able to talk with anyone at Williams Media about making any type of deal.
What?
Jason doesn't stand a chance.
Why would you say that?
He's a prick.
Yeah, a very slimy one who's good at his job.
I just meant to say you're better.
You're just telling me what I want to hear.
Kevin's life was about to change, once and for all. He couldn't believe this was really happening. It was now or never.
My bike! What the hell is wrong with you?
Look at my dress! Why the heck would you park that right there?
Brittany?
Kevin? Are you the new security guard or something?
What? No!
Look at my dress. I have a very important meeting today and you ruined it and I just had to resize.
You just destroyed my bike!
Anyone hurt? Brittany Davis. Big fan. I didn't realize you were coming to sign your contract already.
I was on my way in and then all of this happened. What are you gonna do about it?
Who said that you could ride this thing in here?
Who said that I couldn't? Besides, she hit me.
Mr. Martin, is this what you call security? Because I don't think it's a very good reflection on your company.
Rest assured, I definitely won't allow someone like him to keep working here.
Kevin glanced at the man's nameplate. A production assistant thinks he could fire another employee at will.
Oh, so you're gonna fire me? And what makes you, an assistant, think that you can fire me?
Okay, very much so over this. I'm calling your manager.
Go ahead, please. Let's see what happens.
Hey, you're kidding, right? Get out of here.
Oh. You know what? I think I'm gonna stay right here.
I said leave.
You are gonna regret this.
What the hell is going on here?
Honey, the new security guard made me spill my drink and he's refusing to pay for damages.
You what?
I was just handling it.
I've heard enough. Apologize right now, or your first day will be your last day here.
You three are about to feel very stupid.
You will apologize to my niece, or you'll be facing criminal charges on top of losing your job.
Yeah, just keep piling it on. Perfect timing. Mrs. Wilson.
Sorry, sir. I went to get the new quarterly reports and I lost track of time. I hope you can forgive me.
No forgiveness needed.
Excuse me, Miss Wilson. Do you know this man?
Of course. Why wouldn't I know the new CEO?
You have to be kidding me.
I assure you, I'm not.
It can't be. I went to school with the weirdo.
Let me see those.
Claire was the executive manager of public relations and didn't recognize the new CEO. What had she done?
Sir, I am so sorry. I swear nothing like this will happen in the future.
Future?
Please, sir, I've worked diligently here for years.
Mr. Williams, this is my fault. I hit your bike. Please don't punish my auntie. She works so hard.
Miss Davis, please. This assistant tried to fire me. Can you believe that?
I'll inform his supervisor.
Wonderful.
Kevin didn't feel a single regret. After years of daily humiliation, he was finally in charge.
Well, let's go. We have work to do.
He soaked in the hip atmosphere of his new company, embracing his role with earnest.
Right this way, sir. Your office.
This was his destiny.
Please, join us.
Sir, what happened downstairs? I really am terribly sorry.
Surely, we can just forget about all of this and continue to me signing some papers.
Kevin was enjoying this.
You guys must think I'm some kind of bully. Maybe I am. Give me one good reason why I should sign you.
Sir, there's a Jones family representative downstairs.
Which one?
There has to be some mistake. I've never met the new CEO.
That's enough. He doesn't want to see you.
He can't do this to me. Ugh. I've been banned from the premises. I have no idea what I've done. Can you believe that?
I am so sorry that you had to endure that, JJ. The new CEO of Williams Corporation is a young man. He's probably too young to be at the helm of such a large corporation, and it's normal that people like him look down on your money.
Ugh, that's not it. His assistant said as long as we present a worthwhile spokesperson, he'd happily meet with someone from our family.
Oh, I just do not accept that. There is no one more worthy than you, JJ.
Regretfully, Grandma, I think that person might be Lily. She was correct last night to point out that she already has a friend on the board at Williams Media. They actually like her there.
Lily, you were telling the truth. Well, you should go in JJ's stead.
I want to, but Grandma, my friend on
Grandma Jones is giving you a chance to prove yourself, Lily.
Last she heard, Bradley had been kicked off the board. Did Jason know this? Was he setting her up?
Siren Corporation is going under. What if I stepped in and provided the funds to pull it out? If you would be willing to do this for the family, I can save your skin. What do you say?
What choice did she have?
Let's go! Dude, I think you've gotten worse at this. So why haven't you told her yet?
I don't know, man. I mean, I want to, but I've been lying for so long. I mean, not just about the Orion payout, but way before that.
Yeah, I mean, it is understandable. If I was the heir to a Fortune 500 company, I would never tell the girl I'm with. Wouldn't want to get too laid.
Shut up.
Oh, God. I'm joking.
Man, Lily's not like other girls. I mean, she's genuine, you know? She values honesty above all else. That's kind of why I fell in love with her.
My God. You're so boring.
You're a hater.
Oh, look at me. I'm a billionaire. Please don't tell my wife.
Come on, dude. Damn.
Where is Lily, anyways?
It was finally time for Kevin to show to Lily that he's the man she loved.
Surprise. There she is.
Rachel, what are you doing here?
You said you were having a tough week, so I brought my strongest red. And the door was left open, and you know I can't resist a good reveal.
The door was left unlocked. Kevin wasn't here.
Ding dong, the bum is dead.
He's normally here. That's weird, right?
Who cares? I just admire that you haven't filed for a divorce yet. What? He's holding you back, and your mom wants a grandchild.
You've been talking to my mom?
It's not like you and Kevin have been trying that hard.
Wow. Well, that's really none of your business.
Listen, You deserve a relationship that's safe and secure, and I'm just concerned.
Concerned about what?
Where were you? Rachel says you weren't home?
I was upstairs, napping.
You're all sweaty.
AC's on the fritz. That for me?
Nope. Why are you staring at me?
Hey, Lil, do you still need someone to cover that $4 million?
Yeah.
Wow, Kev. Way to rub it in.
And remember when I tried to talk to you about it yesterday and you shot me down?
Yeah, because it was silly and...
You're gonna call me boss when I prove you wrong.
Sure. Okay. And when you can't conjure up $4 million from the void, you're gonna call me mistress.
You okay, sweetie?
What is happening?
Well, I wanted to surprise you, but I guess now's a good time.
Oh, what are you gonna do, Kev? Pull money out of your butt?
What is this?
Well, I was gonna give you cash, but it seemed irresponsible to carry that much around.
God. You know what? You talk a big game for a dude that has nothing to back it up. What is that, a toy?
It's a card reader.
Okay.
The pin's your birthday.
What?
What is it? Come on.
Get ready to call me boss, Missy.
Hey, what's everyone? Where are your clothes? Where are you going?
What the hell is this? How is this even possible?
I told you I could help.
You haven't worked in 2 years. Where did this come from? What are you hiding from me?
There's...
No, this is a lot of money.
I didn't do anything illegal, if that's what you're getting at.
Then where is it coming from?
Kevin was scared of how she'd react, but he could see now she didn't care about the money. What she wanted was honesty.
But what if I told you that I'm actually a gifted entrepreneur from an extremely wealthy family?
Fine. Just keep making jokes.
I'm not.
No, it's fine. Just promise me you're not in the mob.
What is going on in here?
I don't know, Mom. I think Kevin just saved my company.
Kevin? Oh my God. It's unbelievable.
If this was a victory for Kevin, why did it feel as though he'd lost something very important? Distraught over her husband's kept secret, Lily walked into Williams Media with no plan of action. Lily still had not connected the dots that his last name was the same last name as the Williams company.
Excuse me, I'm here to meet with the new CEO.
Miss Jones?
Yes?
Good to meet you. Unfortunately, Mr. Williams is unavailable this morning, but he's instructed for me to meet with you on his behalf.
He did?
Right this way.
Hey.
Hey.
How'd the meeting go?
I got the deal.
Don't play with me like that. Come here. Oh. So proud of you.
Thank you.
We should celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
So. Got some right there. How'd you like the Buddha?
It's my favorite. How did you know? You were so sure that I would get the deal over Jason.
I'm just confident in your abilities.
Kevin, I'm good, but when I walked in that building, they practically gave me everything I asked for. Plus all that money that you had and the early morning phone calls.
Was Lily finally connecting the dots?
I want you to be honest with me. What's going on?
You should probably get that.
Oh my God.
What?
Grandma found out about the deal. She's throwing a party in my honor.
Thank you all for coming tonight to celebrate our family's new agreement with Williams Media. And of course, we owe all of this to Jason. He suffered so to make this deal happen, so he at least deserves half the credit. Come, Jason, come.
Thank you. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, Grandma. Or me, really, if you think about it. It takes a lot. What are you doing?
Sitting with my family.
Well, find another seat. That seat is reserved for Miss Anderson. Who? You don't even know who she... Miss Phoebe Anderson is a prominent member of one of the city's top families.
Hello.
Now, if you don't mind...
Oh, I do. I mind. No offense.
How dare you? You are offending grandmother's honored guest.
No, really, I can just find another seat.
Nonsense. I will not have it.
You heard the lady?
Don't push this. Not today.
Trouble in paradise? Yes, well, enjoy your meal.
Thanks. Phoebe Anderson.
Lily Jones Williams.
Good to meet you. Oh, I'm sorry, but I have to ask. That is an authentic Dream Lovers, isn't it?
Oh, I'm afraid it's just a very good replica. Oh, at least that's what Jason says.
Trust me, darling, I've been longing for a Dream Lovers on my own for a very long time, and that is the real deal. But that would mean that Bradley...
Oh, my friend gave this to me as a gift.
Well, then you're just gonna have to give me his number so I can find out how he procured one. They're quite rare, after all. She can do better than that. You can call him. Right now.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, that'd be great. What's this?
I just picked up a little gift. You know, the Windsor Hotel's famous for its wines. This is one of their most expensive bottles.
Well, how much was it?
A gentleman never tells.
How much?
About $5,000 a bottle.
Where is all this money coming from?
Hey,
Hello? Really?
I was sorry to hear about you losing your job.
Yeah, I've seen better days.
Yeah, listen, I'm calling about the Dream Lovers necklace you sent me.
What are you doing?
I'm serving wine to my family and your guest.
I get it. You're trying to show me up.
Yes, I love it. Well, a friend of mine wanted to see if she could get one of her own, and I was wondering if you could tell me how you were able to...
Wait, you're calling me because you want another fake necklace? Seriously?
Fake?
After your husband broke the last one. More, come on.
I'm very sorry about that.
That cost me $100,000. All right, I lost my job. I don't have anything left.
Waiter, how about a bottle of that for every person here? My treat.
Are you, sure about that, Jason? I mean, it's a lot of people here, and this is a very expensive bottle of wine.
If you can afford them, anyone can.
Wait, so you're saying you didn't send me a Dream Lovers necklace? A real one?
Of course not. Do you have any idea how hard those are to find? I mean, who gets that kind of money they can just pull out of thin air? All right, good luck.
As a matter of fact, get 2 bottles for every person here. We're celebrating.
Lily didn't know what to believe. Was Kevin really the person responsible for the Dream Lovers necklace? How could he possibly afford it?
Just as Kevin was thinking about giving Lily a beautiful ring one of these days, Grandma Joan stood up and walked to the stage. "Quiet, please. Lily, please tell everyone about the secret of your successful negotiation with Williams Media. How did you do it?" Actually, it was nothing at all. When I went over that day, I didn't get to see the president of Williams Media. It was his secretary who brought me the contract and asked me to sign it. Everyone was astonished to hear this. "Grandma, when I went to Williams Media, maybe the new CEO was just in a bad mood. That's why he had his assistant chase me out. This time when Lily went there, he must have realized how sincere our family was about working with them. JJ is right. Lily, you earned the contract with Williams Media pretty easily. Obviously, half of the credit goes to him." Lily felt very uneasy. She and Dorothy looked at each other, and her mother could only lightly pat her hand under the table. "Today it's my treat. Eat and drink all that you want. I'm paying. Waiter, go and get a bottle of your best wine for every table." When the banquet was coming to an end, Jason was unable to stand upright. His eyes were blurry as he called for the waiter to come over. "Use my card to pay the bill. However, that table isn't included." The table he pointed at was the one where Kevin was sitting. Kevin smiled and didn't say anything. Jason pulled his hand away with a look of contempt in his eyes, but at that moment, the waiter walked quickly over to him. "Mr. Jones, I'm very sorry. The limit on this card isn't high enough to pay for tonight's bill." "Are you kidding me? This card has a $100,000 limit, and you're telling me it's not enough for tonight's meal? I'm sorry, but I forgot to tell you. Mr. Jones, you've spent over $110,000 tonight. $110,000? What were they eating? Gold? You're a thief. Get your manager here right now." Kevin watched the whole scene without saying a word, and finally he couldn't help laughing. When the hotel manager arrived at his table, Jason stepped up to him angrily and asked loudly, "This is how you do business? I'm going to file a complaint with the State Liquor Control Commission. I have friends downtown." "Mr. Jones, you said that I should serve you our best wine. That's what I did. Because you needed 20 bottles for the entire room, we gave you our best price. You actually saved almost $18,000. Jason reached out to grab the hotel manager's lapels. Just then, an extremely calm voice came from the entrance of the banquet hall. "What seems to be the problem here?" As soon as Grandma Jones saw the man in the Armani suit, she quickly stood up and walked up to him. "Mr. Cook, I'm very sorry about this misunderstanding. My grandson sometimes drinks a little too much and makes bad decisions." Mitchell Cook wasn't just the owner of the Whistler Hotel. He was also well known as one of the most influential men in Chicago. Definitely a big shot you didn't want to mess with. "Mr. Cook, don't worry. We'll get you the money right away. We can't let JJ pay all the expenses tonight. Each of you should contribute $5,000. The rest of the money will be paid by JJ and me." "Lily, why are you looking so upset? Don't tell me you can't even come up with $5,000. We have $5,000. The moment Mitchell Cook heard Kevin's voice, his expression changed dramatically. "May I ask who you are?" "Mr. Cook, please don't be angry. This man isn't even a true member of our family. He married into it. If you don't like him, do whatever you want. Just don't take it out on the rest of us." Kevin stood up, turned around, and looked calmly at Mr. Cook. "Long time no see. It's really you. I can't believe it. How are you doing, boss?" "I'm not your boss anymore, Mr. Cook. Just call me Kevin." To give you some background, when he was a teenager, Kevin saved Mitchell Cook's life. Cook had been set up by some of these thugs and they'd beaten him half to death. If Kevin hadn't shown up by chance, Cook would have died. And he wouldn't currently be the owner of the Whistler Hotel. It was Kevin who provided him with almost $100,000 to get his business off the ground. If you could just ask the waiter to add my table's bill to the $5,000, I can give you my card to pay.
Your money's no good here. Put your card away.
Kevin stared at him for a moment and opened his mouth to speak.
How about if I give you a discount? A 50% discount?
Mr. Cook, I didn't know that you're friends with our Kevin. Since we're paying this bill together, may we have a discount too?
Didn't that guy just say that Kevin has nothing to do with your family?
Grandma Jones's face froze. Kevin took a look at the bill. After the discount, it was about $2,500.
Ha! I'd like to see how you could even pay that much.
He took his wallet out of his pocket, pulled out a bank card, and handed it to the hotel manager. The hotel manager slid the card into his portable reader. Lily stared nervously at the hotel manager, afraid that Kevin's card would be rejected for lack of funds. All right, Mr. Williams, the transaction went through. Here's your card. How was this possible? Everyone was confused. Where did you get so much money from? Don't worry, Lily. I have something I need to do later. You and Dorothy can go home first. Kevin got a ride with Cook, but he didn't go straight home. You've done an amazing job. I never imagined you were the owner of the Whistler Hotel. By the way, where are you taking me?
Do you remember Adriana Wright? I just told her about meeting you in my hotel and she was really happy about it.
We talked it over and decided to surprise you. Kevin met Adriana when he lost his briefcase in a wine store. She was working in the shop and noticed that he'd left it behind. Kevin found out that Adriana wanted to start her own business, so he formed a partnership with her. He also fronted her $100,000 just like he'd done for Cook. After all, she had chased him for 3 blocks to return his briefcase. In just a few short years, she actually built the West Chicago International Group. After a few more minutes of driving, Kevin and Cook stopped at an enormous office complex in the west suburbs. Mr. Cook, the president is waiting for you on the 3rd floor.
Okay, Kevin, wait down here for a while. We'll go and get a surprise ready for you.
Adriana's Chicago headquarters was very large. The 1st floor was mainly used to display the latest products. Kevin spent a lot of time looking around. Hey, I thought it was Kevin. Kevin turned his head to look. The woman in front of him, wearing a tight denim skirt that hugged her curves, was Lily's friend Rachel. Kevin, you came here by yourself? The things in West Chicago International Group aren't cheap. If you don't have enough money, you should get out fast. By the way, it seems you still haven't called me boss since we made the bet the other day. I don't know what kind of scuzzy deals you made to get that money. A balding man with a slight paunch walked over and spoke to Rachel.
Honey, what's wrong? Who is this?
Hubby, this guy is Lily's husband. He was being very rude to me and wanted me to call him boss. Rachel's husband was named Cody Hunter. Cody grabbed Kevin's collar and was about to punch him. Rachel watched with pleasure.
Stop it!
Cody stepped back and unclenched his fists, raising his open hands in the air like he was surrendering. He looked at Cook, who was running toward him like lightning, followed by Adriana, who was right behind him. Cody was stunned.
Mr. Cook, and President Wright, what a nice, surprise. I was just trying to scare him. You see, Mr. Cook, I just got promoted. I'm Cody Hunter, the new manager of the entire region. I'll get someone to kick him out right now. Regional manager, is it?
Adriana, I think you know what to do. I order you to go to the personnel office tomorrow and turn in your resignation. Kevin, it's wonderful to finally see you again. Come along with me. Just as the 3 of them were about to leave together, Cody and Rachel came to their senses and ran to catch up with them. Kevin, boss, this was all my fault. Can you convince President Wright not to fire him? That isn't a bad apology. Couldn't you let him go back to his old job for a while? If he learns how to be a decent person, he can go up for promotion again. Adriana naturally followed his line of thinking. Rachel hurried over and gave Kevin a hug. Adriana, Kevin, and Cook headed to the Chartreuse Mill, the largest bar in Chicago. The three of them had just sat down when two men with extremely excited expressions on their faces pushed open the door and walked in. Kevin! Gilbert! Emo! Come in here, you guys! Gilbert Rhodes and Emo Squire were comrades in arms. They had served together in the Special Forces, and after they retired, they became Kevin's personal bodyguards and martial arts instructors. Gilbert's mother had cancer back then, and Kevin gave him over $100,000 to help with expenses for her medical care and comfort. A while after that, Gilbert and Emo wanted to move on, so Kevin gave them money to help them out. They owed their success to him. It's really been too long, Gilbert. I can't believe this is your bar. You've done pretty well for yourself. So, Emo, what are you up to? Are you working together? Emo's doing very well. He runs a bodyguard company. After they talked and laughed for a while, Adriana stood up and left the room. A few minutes later, she came back with a gift box in her hand. Kevin, we got you this gift almost 1.5 years ago. We're so glad that we can finally give it to you in person. Taking the box from Adriana's hand, Kevin looked at his 4 friends and slowly opened the box. As he looked inside, his eyes were glued to the beautiful antique signet ring in the box. It had an ancient aura, and he couldn't take his eyes off of it. I'm glad to have found you again, my friends. Thank you so much. Let's have a toast. They stayed up and chatted well into the night. Because it was so late and they were in no shape to drive home, Gilbert arranged for them to sleep in the Chartreuse Mills VIP suite. And when he woke up the next morning, Kevin didn't head home. Instead, he went straight to his office at Williams Media. After resting on the sofa in his office for a while, Kevin began wondering if he should send a message to Lily. Just then, his phone rang. Kevin saw that it was his mother-in-law, Dorothy. Hello, Mom. I understand. You haven't seen each other in a long time, so you must have had a lot to talk about. By the way, didn't I ask you to bring your parents here for a physical? It just so happens that I have nothing to do for the next couple of days. How about tomorrow? When he heard her bring the subject up again, Kevin frowned. He really didn't want his parents involved in all of this. How about this? After I bring my parents here tomorrow, I'll pick up you and Lily to go and get another checkup to see what the problem is. Dorothy was unhappy to hear this and was about to object, but Kevin didn't give her a chance. Then it's decided. Let's go and get the physical together, all of us. But I have to hang up now, Mom. I still have something to do. Talk to you later. After Kevin hung up, he put down his phone and was about to rest for a while when someone knocked on his office door. Miss Wilson walked in wearing a light blue professional suit and shoes. Sir, Jason from the Jones family is here. He wants to sign the packaging contract for Brittany's debut with us. What do you think we should do? He's here pretty early. Don't worry about him right now. Please contact the Jones family directly. Let them know that, since they've ignored my previous instructions, our agreement with them will be voided if they send him here again. If they want to continue to work with us, then they must ensure that all corporate matters will be handled by Lily and Lily alone. Otherwise, we have nothing to talk about. In the old Jones family mansion, the key players of the family were sitting in the living room trying to figure out how to handle all of this. We need to make a long-term plan. After all, if they want to cancel our agreement, we won't have a chance in court. If that happens, we'll be the ones to suffer. Grandma Jones was absolutely right. Williams Media was far more powerful than they were. The Jones family had to give in, so Jason's cousin Matilda Jones was chosen to replace Jason. They all wanted her to take Lily's place and go to Williams Media the next day. While this was going on, Kevin spent half a day at his office and then rode home on the new electric scooter that Miss Wilson had bought for him. Damn it! Dorothy groaned. Seeing that Kevin hadn't responded to her, Dorothy kicked off her dress shoes and stomped across the room to sit down next to Lily. Lily gave her a puzzled look. What's wrong? You look like you're mad at someone. Kevin told me that he wanted to do a checkup along with everyone else. What did he mean by that? Does he think the problem is with me? Mom, can you not rush things? I have so much going on right now. How could I possibly think about having a baby in the middle of this train wreck? You're still not in a hurry? You've been married for over 2 years. The in vitro's already failed 3 or 4 times and you're not in a hurry? Let's not talk about this right now. After eating and then cleaning up, Lily lay down on the bed. Kevin, who was doing some stretches on the floor, turned on his side and used his hand to support his head while he stared at her beautiful side profile. Lily, if Grandma Jones calls you tomorrow and she asks you to talk about the deal with Williams Media, don't agree with her right away. Just let her wait. Kevin didn't worry about Lily's impatient tone. After saying that, he went to bed and quickly fell asleep. The next day after Lily left for work, Kevin headed over to his office at Williams Media. Miss Wilson knocked on the door and walked in. Mr. President, the Jones family has sent someone over to discuss their arrangement with us. It's a woman named Matilda Jones. Please ask her to leave. When Matilda returned to Grandma Jones, her grandmother was really pissed off at the news, but she reluctantly agreed that it was time to call Lily. Sorry, Grandma, since you already handed this over to Jason, I feel that it's not right for you to make a sudden change in the middle of negotiations. Lily hung up the phone abruptly. Dorothy looked at her daughter in disbelief. On the other side of town, Kevin arrived at the Whistler Hotel and was happy to see that Cook already had a table full of food waiting for him. Kevin smiled as Cook opened the silver lid and took out a small velvet box. He was acting very mysterious. Cook quietly put the box in front of Kevin. I prepared this especially for you. It's a valuable item that I've kept for almost 4 years now. Kevin finished lunch, he checked in with his office, but they didn't have any work lined up for him, so he headed home. When he got there, he took a shower and put on some more casual clothes. Then he pulled Cook's gift out of his pocket. In the middle of the velvet box was a pill the size of a small marble. He placed it in his mouth and reached for a glass of water to help him swallow it. Before Kevin could drink the water, the pill seemed to melt in his mouth, and then it flowed down his throat. He suddenly felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. Then his whole body felt like ice. It reminded him of that time one of his friends had convinced him to jump into Lake Michigan with his polar bear club one cold winter day. Then his eyes rolled up in his head, and he fainted. When Kevin opened his eyes again, it was almost dusk. What's that horrible smell? The funk was almost enough to knock him out again. Kevin got up off the floor and discovered that the smell seemed to come from his own body. His entire body was covered with some sticky yellow liquid. Kevin sprinted to the bathroom to take a shower. He gave the house a quick cleaning and sprayed the air with an entire can of freshener. It seemed impossible to get the stink out of the room, especially the spot where he'd fainted. I can't believe someone told Mitch that this would help me. So far, it's given me an intense pain in my gut, knocked me out, and made me smell like an outhouse on a hot July day. Are there any more fun side effects? Kevin kept muttering to himself as he cleaned the room furiously. Just as he finished, Lily and Dorothy came home. She gave Kevin a subtle tug on his sleeve and motioned for him to go to the bedroom with her. It's Grandma Jones's birthday the day after tomorrow, so you have 2 days to try and find something nice, and nothing cheap or tacky. Please don't embarrass me in front of my family again. When Lily told him this, Kevin remembered that he and Grandma Jones shared the same birthday. But usually everybody spends so much time fawning over Grandma that they forgot about him, so he wasn't much in the mood to celebrate. He nodded in agreement. Don't worry, I'll remember it, and I'll find her something nice. Thanks, Lily replied. Grandma Jones's birthday bash was held at Chez Robin, one of the finest restaurants in Chicago. Lily sat next to her mother and saved a seat for her husband. For the past 2 days, she'd asked Kevin over and over what he planned to get for her grandmother, but he insisted that he wanted to keep it a secret. When Kevin finally arrived, Lily saw that he was holding a simple gift bag like you find in a drugstore. This sure ticked her off. When Kevin sat down at the table, Dorothy frowned and stared at the gift bag he was holding. You could have at least had it wrapped. I hope the gift you picked out is presentable. I didn't have time to wrap it, but the wrapping isn't important. It's what's in the bag that counts. He started to lean toward Lily, offering the bag to show what was inside, but she put her hand out and stopped him. She wasn't interested in finding out right now. I don't want to know. Later, when everyone is giving Grandma her presents, you can take advantage of the confusion and just stuff it into the pile so we're not embarrassed in front of my family. Again. All right, he said. Whatever you say. Everyone had already started to give their gifts to Grandma Jones, who was seated on the dais at the front of the room. They were all secretly competing with each other to see who would give the most valuable or rare gift to Grandma Jones. So far, the best presents were the beautiful diamond brooch that Matilda gave Grandma, as well as the antique Victorian bust that Jason had presented to her. Just then, someone walked up to Grandma Jones and announced, "Grandma, Bradley Smith is here." "Happy birthday, Grandma Jones. I wish you health, wealth, and happiness. I'm sorry that I'm a little late. The Dan Ryan Expressway was backed up with the construction traffic. Please forgive me." Grandma Jones knew that Bradley had always been interested in Lily. If only she had been able to match them up a few years ago. But instead she had married that failure Kevin. "Oh, I understand. I know you have a busy schedule. It's very considerate of you to come to my party. Actually, I'm not just here for your birthday. There's something else. Grandma Jones, I want to ask your blessing to marry Lily." "Bradley, you do realize that Lily is married. Doesn't that bother you?" "Grandma, I'd like to ask Lily to be my wife. You know I've always seen you as my very own Grandma. Please say yes." The whole time he was saying this, Bradley was acting like Kevin wasn't even there. Finally, Kevin had had enough of this. He stood up from his chair and yelled, "Stop! What the hell is wrong with you?" Kevin had lost it. Now it was Jason's turn to stick his nose in things. "Who do you think you are? You have no right to speak here. You're not a member of the family." "I may not be much, but I'm better than you Kevin spat back. "I'll kick your ass, loser." Everyone was upset to see this, but nobody made a move to stop Jason. They were all expecting to see Kevin get beaten up. But Kevin stood his ground very calmly. "What are you just standing there for? Hurry up and leave." Jason threw the first punch, but Kevin stepped to the side to avoid it and caught his fist. "So, you're going to get violent, are you?" Then Kevin twisted Jason's wrist with a move that his friend Emo had shown him back when he was his family bodyguard. Everyone there heard a sharp pop, and Jason let out a loud moan. "Why have you always been such a to me?" Jason felt like one of his ribs might be broken. He sat on the floor yelling in pain as he held his wrist. Just then, Dorothy walked up to Kevin and slapped him in the face. "How dare you ruin Grandma's birthday?" Dorothy was furious. "After all that we've done for you, this is how you repay us? Get out, now!" By now, Jason was slowly standing up with a little help. "Oh, he's not getting off so easy. You're a dead man." Jason pulled out his phone, scrolled through his contacts, and made a call. But Kevin wasn't paying any attention to Jason. He was staring blankly at Dorothy. His penetrating stare made her uneasy. He finally spoke. "Lily and I have been married for 2 years. Things have been hard while I tried to get back on my feet, but I thought we still had a pretty good relationship." He began to smile before he continued. "Maybe it's my fault that everyone here looks down on you and Lily. Maybe I deserve that slap. I don't know. But from now on, we're even." Kevin clenched his fist tightly. "From now on, I'll have nothing to do with this family. I've had enough of this. If you want me to come back, you'll have to make Grandma Jones get down on one knee and beg me." Grandma Jones's birthday party had just been completely ruined by the fight between Jason and Kevin. Unfortunately for Jason, Kevin kicked his butt in the fight, so Jason called up a friend to help, who showed up pretty quickly with a few of his toughest bodyguards. "Drake, thanks for getting here so fast. Drake, this is the I told you about." One of the Joneses recognized Jason's friend. "Drake? That's one of the toughest crime lords in the city." Lily heard this and got scared for Kevin's safety. "Kevin, run!" Before she got 2 steps, Bradley stopped her. "Lily, what are you doing? Drake's a very dangerous man." The first time they met, Drake almost beat Jason to death in a sparring match at the gym. Ever since then, Jason tried his best to make friends with the man. "So you're the one who hurt my friend. So are you his friend or just his guard dog? This guy obviously hasn't heard that you just don't mess around with Drake Cook. Let me teach him a lesson for you. Your last name is Cook?" Kevin slowly took his phone out of his pocket. "Do you happen to know Mitch Cook?" Drake's face froze when he heard this question. "It's me, Mitch. I'm here with a mutual acquaintance." Drake hesitated a moment and took the phone. While he talked, his expression changed from anger to confusion to worry. "Are you sorry now?"
"Yes, Mr. Williams, I'm very sorry."
Of course, Kevin had just called his friend Mitch to set Drake straight. The message he gave him was short and sweet. If he touched a hair on Kevin's head, he would lose his own head. Seeing that Drake still wasn't giving Kevin a beating, Jason couldn't hold back any longer. He decided to take another swing at Kevin. But before his fist even made contact with Kevin's face, Drake grabbed Jason and threw him to the ground.
"What kind of mess have you gotten me into?"
Drake kept cursing while he slapped Jason over and over. Then he turned to the men who had come with him and gave them an order.
"See if you can knock a little sense into him."
They immediately surrounded Jason and started dragging him towards the side exit. When Kevin was gone, Drake let out a long breath and told his men to stop slapping Jason around. Then he took his men and left. The Joneses slowly walked over and surrounded Jason. "Jason, are you all right?" Suddenly, one of her other grandsons rushed into the room. "Grandma, Mr. Cook is pulling up outside." The Joneses were surprised. "Grandma Jones is really important. Even someone as powerful as Mitchell Cook has come to see her on her birthday."
"Miss Jones, may I ask if Kevin is here?"
"I'm sorry, Mr. Cook. Kevin has already left."
"Oh, well, since Kevin isn't here, I won't take much of your time. I understand that today is your birthday. Please accept the small gift."
Cook snapped his fingers and one of his bodyguards walked up and placed the gift on the table. When the Jones family arrived home after the disastrous birthday party, one of the young Jones men announced from the doorway, "Grandma, President Wright of West Chicago International has arrived." "Hello, Mrs. Jones." About a dozen bodyguards followed Adriana as she strode into the Jones family mansion. Adriana searched the room with her eyes. "Mrs. Jones, is Kevin here today?" "I'm sorry, President Wright. Kevin isn't here at the moment. Since Kevin isn't here, I won't take up any more of your time." Adriana motioned for one of her bodyguards to place a beautifully wrapped gift box on the table. "This is a small token of my esteem. Happy birthday." After saying this, Adriana turned around and left with her entourage. Jason's face fell, and he wasn't the only one in the room who looked shocked. "Someone go get Kevin and bring him back here." Lily reacted first and immediately rushed out of the room. Bradley followed closely behind her. As she walked, she dialed Kevin's number. He answered after a couple of rings and she asked excitedly, "Where are you?" "I'm on my way home. Don't worry, Lily. I'll go and pack my things. I'll be gone by the time you get home." "No, please wait for me. I'm on my way." When Bradley saw her getting into a taxi, he hurried to the parking lot and jumped in his car. Half an hour later, Lily arrived at home. When she got out of the cab, she was surprised to see Bradley running towards her. Bradley grabbed Lily's wrist and asked her, "Lily, what are you doing here? Come back with me. Grandma is about to make an announcement to everyone about our marriage. I'm not going with you." "Are you here to see Kevin? But he's out of your life now. And Grandma has agreed to let me marry you. Don't you see? Now you can be my wife. Let the go." Bradley was desperate. His only way into the Jones family was through Lily. After that, he planned on taking advantage of Grandma Jones's love for him. Then he could use the Jones family fortune to help him make a comeback. "Bradley, I've been married to him for 3 years. Do you think I could have spent that much time with him if I didn't have some feelings for him?" It was hard for Lily to admit it, even to herself, but she did have feelings for Kevin. While they were struggling like this, a black car slammed on its brakes and stopped at the side of the road. Dorothy quickly got out. Bradley looked in Dorothy's eyes and then turned to Lily. "It's still very hot outside. Why don't you and Lily get in the car and cool off? Then you can talk some sense into her." Bradley grinned as he got into the driver's seat and locked the doors. What Dorothy and Lily didn't know was that Bradley had put child locks on the car door. They wouldn't be able to leave. The black car slowly drove away. Kevin, who had been watching from the window, saw everything. An hour later, Bradley parked outside of an ominous house and brought a rope over to tie both Dorothy and Lily up before bringing them inside. "You really ought to save your strength. Even if you scream until you're hoarse, no one will hear you." "What? Didn't you buy the Dream Lover necklace for me?" "Ha! Lily, you're not that special. I was just toying with you. Bradley's face turned bright red and his mouth twisted. I had adored you for so long. Today I can finally get what I wanted. Suddenly, the door burst open with a violent kick. Bradley, you'll never get away with this. What can a useless piece of crap like you do to someone like me? Do you really think I came alone? Kevin asked. Right then, they heard sirens out in the street. Kevin, you actually called the freaking police? You're damn right. If you release Lily now, you might get a lighter sentence. No way, you're lying. As long as I have hostages, the police can't do a thing. Bradley, if you want a hostage, let them go and take me. Lily was floored when she heard Kevin say that. Her eyes filled with tears. Kevin, no. Get out of here while you can. Lily, what are you saying? If he wants to be Bradley's hostage, let him. Meanwhile, the police outside had already told the Jones family what was happening. Grandma Jones showed up with the older members of the family. Officer Emmett, how is the situation now? There is a man named Kevin Williams currently speaking with the kidnapper, identified as one Bradley Smith. Officer Emmett, are you sure you didn't make a mistake? Bradley is a fine young man. I can't believe he would do such a thing. Suddenly, another officer ran up to Officer Emmett. Ma'am, the sniper in position on the roof across the street radioed in that Mr. Williams seems to be discussing something with the kidnapper. It appears that they are discussing a hostage exchange. Dorothy and Lily are very important to us, but Mr. Williams is different. He has been pretty useless to us for the past few years. If he can get Lily and Dorothy back, then let him do it. Officer Emmett clearly thought that this was a terrible idea. No matter what she thought of Kevin, he was still a human life, and it was the police's duty to protect him. Meanwhile, in the house, Bradley was deep in thought. Bradley, what are you waiting for? I'm your only chance to get out of this. A second later, Bradley pointed his knife at Kevin. You want to be a hero and save this damsel in distress? Okay, you get your wish. Put your hands over your head and slowly walk over here. Not so fast. We'll count to 3. When we get to 3, I'll walk over to you and you'll let Lily and her mom go. At the count of 3, Kevin slowly walked over. As he brushed past Lily, he whispered, Lily, don't be afraid. You're safe now. Don't wait for me. When Lily heard him, she trembled. As she walked towards the door, she turned her head and saw Bradley grab Kevin and put the knife to his neck. Dorothy grabbed Lily's wrist and pulled her out of the room. Little Dorothy! Lily, are you all right? But Grandma, Kevin is still inside. We're ready to leave now. Isn't that person inside a member of your family? No, we have nothing to do with him. But Kevin didn't care what Bradley thought, or even what the Joneses thought. Aren't you curious why Williams Media suddenly pulled its support? They even withdrew all the funds that were invested in your project. How did you know that? Did someone at Williams Media tell you that you'd offended someone? I'll bet you don't even know who it was. How the hell would you know? Meanwhile, out in the street, a police officer suddenly ran up to Officer Emmett. Ma'am, for some unknown reason, the kidnapper suddenly knelt down in front of the hostage. What did you say? She quickly walked to the vantage point across the street from the house. She definitely saw Bradley kneeling in front of Kevin. Then Bradley threw his knife on the floor. Please, sir, I beg you to let me go. This was all my fault. All right, you can go outside and surrender. After you get out of prison, if I never see your face again, then I won't press charges. Emmett walked up to Kevin and asked, Are you hurt, sir? Thank you for your concern. I'm fine. If there's nothing more, I think I'd like to leave. Suddenly, a line of limousines pulled up along the curb. Cook quickly got out of the lead car and gave Kevin a warm handshake and a pat on the shoulder. Kevin, I've been looking for you for hours. Are you all right? Let's get out of here and I'll tell you all about it. A little while later, Cook was in his office at the Whistler Hotel. Drake was standing contritely in front of Kevin. What do you have to say for yourself, Drake? I had no idea who you were, Mr. Williams, but I do now. Please let me go. I'll do anything you want to make it up to you. Sure, I'll let you go, but I'll just ask for one thing in return. You're going to keep an eye on Jason Jones for me from now on. Drake was grateful, but Kevin didn't say anything more to him. He didn't even bother to look at him. A couple of days later, Kevin went to a real estate agent down by the Loop in downtown Chicago. "Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you with?" A staff member asked as she walked up to greet him. I'm looking for a condo." "I'm sorry, sir. We're really on a break right now. Our lowest offering is $300,000. If there's nothing else we can do for you, please show yourself out." The agent had already made up her mind that Kevin was probably working on the construction site down the street. He just came in to look around and enjoy the air conditioning. At that moment, two people walked up. Kevin was startled to see them, and it showed on his face. "Kevin, what are you doing here?" The man with Lily suddenly blurted out.
Lily, what did you just say? This is Kevin? That useless ex-husband of yours?
This was Grant Butcher, the perfect son-in-law Dorothy had just found for Lily. "Why, Mr. Butcher, what brings you in today?"
"How can you let someone like this in here? He's smelling up the place. Aunt Dorothy told me that she would let Lily divorce you as soon as possible. So from now on, please don't interfere in her life. I'll take good care of her."
Garrett turned around and asked the agent,
"What did he say to you?"
"He said he wanted to buy a condo," she answered.
"Buy a condo?" Garrett laughed. "I hate to tell you this, but we sell high-end real estate here. Do you think you'd even qualify for a mortgage?"
"Well, I don't think that's really up to you. Are you in charge here?"
"I'm the manager."
"Why, Lily, what are you doing here?"
"Lily, who's this?"
Garrett asked. "This is my best friend, Rachel."
"I'm Lily's boyfriend. Aunt Dorothy introduced us to each other. Since we'll be married soon, I guess I'll be your brother-in-law from now on."
"Who do you think you are? You don't deserve someone as nice as Lily. And my only brother-in-law is Kevin. Who the hell are you? Lily, how can you even be with a schmuck like this?"
"Lily, your friend seems to have already made up her mind about me. What have I done wrong?"
By then, Kevin had finished his call and walked back over to them. He stared intently at Garrett.
"What are you still standing here for? This isn't a grocery store. Not everyone can just walk in here off the street."
"Well, what if I want to buy one of your properties?"
"Wow. Aunt Dorothy said you're worthless, but you sure are good at bragging. This is the Corwin Tower. The penthouse is available for anyone who can afford the price tag. $8 million. Can you afford it?"
"Who said I can't afford it?" He just took out a black card from his wallet and looked at the rude agent who had greeted him when he walked in. Then he walked over and handed it to a different agent. Just then, Garrett's phone rang. When he saw the caller ID, he quickly stepped away and answered the call. "Is the transaction complete?" "Yes, sir." Garrett finished his call and walked back to them.
"You still haven't left? If you can buy the Corwin Tower penthouse, I will personally kiss your..."
"But Mr. Butcher, this gentleman has already bought the Corwin Tower penthouse," Lisa told him.
"What did you say?"
"Will that be the left cheek or the right?"
"How dare you talk to me like this? I'm not afraid of you. I work for the Williams Corporation."
Just then, everyone turned to see a distinguished-looking middle-aged man rush through the front door and race up to Garrett saying,
"You are no longer an employee of the Williams Corporation. Please turn in your access badge." "Director Turner, what are you doing here? It's a good thing I came down here. I wouldn't know how you treat our customers."
Turner knew that Kevin liked to keep a low profile. When he noticed that his CEO was giving him a look that said, "Don't tell them who I am." On the way over to the office, Turner had gotten a call from Miss Wilson, Kevin's chief of staff. She explained the situation and also sent the video surveillance from the office's security system, and he watched it on his phone. It was damning evidence.
"Director Turner, please, you can't fire me. Vice President Ambrose is my uncle. Let me call him." "Sir, I hate to trouble you, but could you please come with me to the office? The Vice President is a reasonable man. As long as you explain to him what happened, I think he'll understand the situation."
Kevin looked over at Lily and then walked towards the elevator with Turner and Garrett. "Rachel, do you think something will happen to Kevin?" "Don't worry, Kevin will be fine." The elevator stopped on the 14th floor where Garrett's office was located.
"Director Turner, I advise you to leave before my uncle arrives."
"Garrett, do you really think your uncle can save you this time?"
"I sure do. My uncle is the vice president of the company.
He can easily fire you. A few minutes later, the office door opened forcefully. In a deep, arrogant voice, Garrett's Uncle Ambrose snarled, "Mark Turner, how dare you fire one of my employees? Uncle Ed, thanks for getting here so fast." As Ambrose listened to his nephew's story, his eyes fell on Kevin. "So this horrible situation is all your fault? Who do you think you are?" Turner could only shake his head. Since Ambrose was already here, it meant the whole thing was out of his hands. "There's no quarrel between us, Mr. Turner, wouldn't you agree?" "Mr. Ambrose, I've seen the surveillance footage from the showroom. It proves that this whole mess is entirely Garrett's fault. If you let me show it to you, you'll see that the company has no choice." "Turner, this is none of your business. To tell you the truth, I've never liked you. You know what? You can apologize too. Are you sure you want to continue to let him do whatever he wants?" Garrett came up to Kevin from behind and grabbed his shoulder. "Didn't you hear what I said?" In a flash, Kevin turned around and defended himself by pushing Garrett away. Garrett, in a daze, rubbed his chin and moaned, "How dare you hit me? You'll pay for this. Remember, the Butcher family didn't get its reputation for taking crap from people like you. Why don't you go downstairs and ask all the witnesses who's going too far?" "It's quite simple. You're going to apologize to Mr. Butcher, then you're going to give him an additional $75,000 to compensate him for all the trouble you've caused." Turner opened his mouth to complain, but Ambrose slapped him on the cheek before he could say anything. "You have no voice here. You are no longer a Williams employee. If you don't leave now, I'll call security and have you thrown out." "Uncle, finish him off!" Garrett shouted angrily. Then he took out his phone and made a call. "Mr. Foster, where are you? Someone else is threatening to beat me up. Hurry up and bring some of your men to my office." Garrett made a fist and started to take a swing at Kevin. But before he could even hit him, Kevin gave him a hard slap in the face. Garrett staggered and fell back into his chair. Kevin was surprised at how hard he had hit Garrett. He was only going to give him a slap to bring him back to his senses, but he was feeling a lot stronger than usual. Ambrose pulled out his phone and made another call to Foster. "Where are you? Get up to Garrett's office right away." At that moment, the office door opened. A very professional-looking woman walked in, followed by a group of executives in suits. "Sir, I'm sorry I'm late," Miss Wilson said as she gave Kevin a very sincere handshake. "Miss Wilson, what did you just call him?" "Mr. Ambrose, this is the new chairman of the Williams Group." When Ambrose saw Kevin staring at him like that, he became furious with his nephew for putting him in this position. He turned around and slapped him right in the face. "Look at all the trouble you've caused. Do you still want the CEO to apologize to you? Sir, my nephew has made a serious error in judgment. His behavior is inexcusable. Please, let me handle this." Edward Ambrose is demoted but will continue to work in the company. His original position will be taken over by Mark Turner. Garrett Butcher is terminated. After giving her these instructions, Kevin left the office without even looking back. When he got to the first floor, Lily and Rachel were still waiting for him. Lily immediately walked up to him. "Are you all right?" This was the first time he could remember Lily showing so much concern for him. "Where have you been for the past 2 days?" "I found a job," he explained. "The salary is pretty good and it also provides food and lodging. Don't you plan to come home?" Glancing at the caller ID, she saw that it was from her company. Lily said a few words and hung up. "I'm sorry, but I have to go now. There's something I need to take care of at work." "Take good care of yourself." "Hi, Kevin. When are you coming back? I'll be waiting for you at home." Lily hung up the phone with a smile. Dorothy looked at Lily, who was sitting on the sofa combing her hair, and said, "Why are you letting that guy come back? Didn't he abandon you? I went to a lot of trouble to introduce you to Garrett Butcher. How did that go?" "Don't ask me again. I'm not going to divorce Kevin." Dorothy continued her tirade. "Let me ask you this. During the 3 years you and Kevin were married, were you ever happy?" Dorothy's complaining was interrupted by the sound of an engine out in the street. Lily looked at the sports car parked in front of the house. She wasn't sure what to make of it. "That's my boss's car. Because I'm taking the day off, he lent it to me." She just glared at Kevin and went into her room. "So, we're not getting a divorce?" "That depends on how things go," Lily said very calmly. Kevin didn't say anything else. No matter what decision Lily ended up making, he would respect her wishes. Dorothy walked in and saw Kevin cleaning like everything was back to normal. She angrily took out her phone and dialed Garrett's number.
Aunt Dorothy, what do you want?
Garrett, did you have a nice date with Lily? How are you guys getting along?
Aunt Dorothy, I think Lily and Kevin are a match made in heaven. I don't want to come between them.
Dorothy angrily threw her phone onto the bed. She really didn't understand what was going on with Garrett. Suddenly, there was a knock on the front door. Hi, Aunt Dorothy. She opened the door and Rachel walked in. When Lily walked downstairs, she sat down on the sofa next to Rachel and started chatting with her. Dorothy shouted upstairs again, Kevin, what are you doing? Come down here. When Rachel heard this, her smile turned into a look of surprise. She gulped and asked Lily, Is Kevin home? Ever since Rachel found out who Kevin really was, she didn't dare to come over and visit Lily. Just as Rachel was about to find an excuse to head home, she saw Kevin walking slowly down the stairs. When he saw Rachel, he gave her a slight smile. Oh, don't leave so soon. Why don't you stay a little longer? I really have something to take care of, so I've got to run. You don't need to pay for a ride, Dorothy said. Kevin's got his boss's car today. He can drive you home. She grabbed her purse, said goodbye to Lily and Dorothy, and headed out the door with Kevin. While he was waiting for a traffic light, he heard a voice in the car next to him.
Isn't that Kevin? So you're driving a fancy sports car now?
Kevin looked over and saw that it was Jason.
I see you found a lovely rich woman to support you. And who is this pretty lady?
Because Jason was making so much noise, the pedestrians who were waiting to cross the street heard everything. This was pretty frustrating for Kevin, and he started to lose his temper. But Rachel, who had been sitting calmly in the front passenger seat, got even more angry than Kevin. Suddenly, everyone heard a loud slap.
You actually hit me? Do you know who I am?
So what? What are you going to do about it? The bystanders who were anxiously waiting for the light to change spoke quietly to each other. You don't have to take me home. I don't want to waste your time. I'll go a few blocks west and catch a ride. Don't worry about me. Rachel reached in, took her purse off the front seat, and crossed the street. As long as he was downtown, Kevin decided to head to his office and wait for traffic to clear. He sat down at his desk and sent Lily a text saying that he wouldn't be home that night. Just then, Miss Wilson walked into the office with 2 small boxes. Mr. Williams, these were sent over by President Wright at West Chicago International and Mr. Cook from the Whistler Hotel. They said they're a gift for you. Kevin opened the box on his desk and looked inside. Inside it was a red pill, similar to the tan one that Cook had given him a while back. He decided to call his friend to find out what this one would do since the last one had disastrous side effects.
Kevin, didn't I already give you a pill? Cook slowly said. Anyway, I found out from the head researcher that the medical properties of the new pill actually enhance the properties of the first one you took. It should help you a lot.
Kevin hung up the phone and stared at the pill. He thought for a while and decided that his friend wouldn't try to hurt him. So he picked up the pill and swallowed it. Within seconds, Kevin felt like his whole body was engulfed in flames. He closed his eyes and passed out. Half an hour later, when Kevin slowly came to, he couldn't find any change to his body. Kevin's phone rang and startled him back to reality. Who's this? Kevin asked in confusion.
This is Phoebe Anderson. We met at the Whistler Hotel, at the celebration the family threw after getting the Williams contract.
Oh, of course. I remember you now. What can I do for you?
I've been meaning to ask you, at Grandma Jones's birthday party, did you give her an antique tiara?
Yes. Why?
Kevin, the Jones family isn't aware of it, but I peeked in the bag when nobody was looking. I'm sure that it's the legendary golden sunburst tiara. I just want to take a few photos.
Okay, I think we can arrange that.
Really? If you're free now, you can come to our antique store, Anderson Fine Jewelry and Antiques. I'll wait for you here.
An hour later, Kevin arrived at the entrance of the Anderson family store. This was the biggest antique store in all of Chicago, and it contained many priceless treasures. Just as he was entering the door, an employee stopped him.
Excuse me, sir. Are you on the list?
I was invited by Phoebe Anderson.
Wearing those rags? You can't possibly know President Anderson. Get lost.
That's enough. The two security guards looked menacing as they rushed up to Kevin and grabbed his arms. Kevin struggled slightly and the two guards flew 6 feet away, hitting the ground with a thud. Kevin was stunned by this. He looked down at his hands in disbelief. Kevin decided he'd wasted enough time with these stooges. He took out his phone and called Phoebe. "If you're not down at the front door in 2 minutes, I'm out of here." Suddenly, they heard a woman's voice from the entrance. Phoebe practically ran out the door. "Kevin, when did you get here? Why didn't you come inside?" Burroughs and the others immediately snapped to attention when they saw her.
"President Anderson."
Kevin looked Phoebe in the eyes and explained. Phoebe led him into the store's photography studio. Kevin watched her intently. After taking quite a lot of shots, Phoebe turned off the studio lights and put the camera away. Her senior appraiser rushed into the studio to ask for help with a string of pearls that he was unsure of. "Let's go take a look." When they reached the main showroom, Kevin saw a group starting to form around a young man. On the table in front of him was an old mahogany box. "May I ask your name?" "My name is Sam McKay. This is a family heirloom. It never leaves the house, but we're in desperate need of money." They were strung together with what looked like a pure gold clasp. "Pure gold South Sea pearls? How much do you want to sell them for?" $50,000. Since you're the owner of this establishment, you also know that they're worth far more than that. While everyone was discussing the find, another young man walked in. "My name is Charles Grant. Are those actually golden pearls? How much are you selling them for?" $50,000. "Okay, I'll take them." "Well, lady, you missed your chance." "Mr. McKay, I'll take them. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $75,000 for them." "I'm sorry, Mr. Grant, but they're right. I can't go against my principles. I'm selling them to the young lady." "Then you're the biggest fool in the world. Ma'am, it's your lucky day. These pearls are worth at least $100,000. Just as Mr. Landau was about to ask the man for his information to prepare the check, Kevin walked up to Phoebe. "President Anderson, if you buy these pearls, you're making a huge mistake." "What do you mean?" "It's quite simple. They're fake. Also, your acting skills aren't that great either." I'm exhausted from trying not to laugh. After hearing this, Phoebe looked at Kevin with a puzzled expression. Kevin took the wooden box from Phoebe and opened it. "Everyone here is in the antique business. Sure, the size of these pearls is impressive. However, they've been treated to improve their color and luster. Even the clasp is cheap. A large, perfect pearl should roll like a marble. These pearls are perfect. How dare you destroy my family's most precious treasure? You should at least put some effort into your counterfeits. Has anybody fallen for this cheap crap? I'm sure you have some modern equipment in your lab. Go ahead and check them out." She looked at the printout that Mr. Landau had handed her, and you could tell right away she wasn't pleased. McKay turned pale. "Call the police and have him taken to the police station." Grant pointed an accusatory finger at him and yelled, "You're selling fakes? I can't believe I almost fell for it." However, as he turned around to leave, Kevin had already blocked his path. The police lieutenant walked directly to Kevin and asked, "Where are the suspects?" "One is here and the other is over there." Officer Emmett looked disappointed. He reached out and pulled on Grant's skin. Everyone was shocked to see him standing there, holding the man's face in his hand. Well, it was actually a mask, and the nasty face that underneath was pretty frightening. The masks on Grant and McKay's faces were so realistic that nobody noticed anything unusual. But how did Kevin see through the deception? Phoebe let out a disappointed sigh. "I want to invite you to be the chief antique appraiser for Anderson Fine Jewelry and Antiques. You don't have to come to work every day, but if I need your help, I'll expect you to come in. I can give you a salary of $150,000 a year for your effort. Would that be okay? Let me get this straight. I don't need to come into work every day and I'll earn $150,000 a year. Why would I say no to that offer?" Kevin agreed right away. He felt that it was getting late, so he said goodbye to Phoebe and headed back to the office, carrying the tiara in his bag. The next morning, as soon as Kevin arrived at his office, Miss Wilson came in to give him a report on the company's activities. "Mr. Williams, today is the premiere of Brittany Davis's show, the one that the Jones family took the lead on. Do you want to attend?" I won't be able to attend. If I go, it may affect Brittany's performance. If you can set up the live feed, I'll just watch it here at my desk. He was well aware that Brittany's deal had been set up by the Jones family. Moreover, Lily was personally responsible for it. If he appeared in front of his wife, his true identity would certainly be exposed. Then, when Brittany was halfway through her song, there was a problem with her microphone. The crowd began to boo. Kevin slammed his fist on his desk and called Miss Wilson in. "What's going on over there? There are 4 engineers in charge of Brittany's sound equipment backstage. Unfortunately, they've all made a mess of the production. Please call them to my office." A little over a half an hour later, the 4 staff members who had screwed up Brittany's show entered the CEO's office and saw Mitchell Cook sitting in Kevin's office chair smoking a cigar. There were several men in black suits and sunglasses on either side of him. Everyone knew about Cook's reputation throughout Chicago. After about a minute of this staring contest, one of them couldn't take the pressure and he stammered, "As long as you don't hurt me, I'll tell you whatever you want to know." A few minutes later, Cook ended the impromptu meeting and waved them out of the room. Then Cook stood up and smiled, saying, "Kevin, everything is clear to me now." After Cook left, Kevin's phone rang. Dorothy's voice blared in Kevin's earpiece.
Do you have any idea what just happened? Hurry up and meet us at the Jones mansion.
Actually, Dorothy didn't want to see Kevin. It was Grandma Jones who had ordered everyone in the Jones family to come right away. She was furious. "All right, I'll be right there." While waiting at a stoplight, Kevin called Brittany. When Kevin hung up the phone, he'd just arrived at the Jones mansion. Suddenly, Jason stood up and pointed at Lily. He sneered and said, "Lily, it wasn't easy for our family to set up the deal with Williams Media. You screwed everything up, so now it's up to you to tell Grandma how to fix it." "I'm sorry, Grandma." "Grandma, I think Lily did a terrible job. In order to keep something like this from happening again, I suggest you pull her out of all her duties in the company." One of the younger members of the family said, "That's right, Grandma. What Jason said makes sense." Grandma Jones looked around the room and then looked at Lily. She coldly said, "Then it's agreed. From this moment on, you will have no say in the company's affairs." Just as Grandma Jones finished speaking, Kevin stepped forward and declared loudly, "I disagree. Kevin, you really have some nerve. Take a look around. None of us want to hear what you have to say." "I just want Grandma to investigate this matter further. Why would that bother you? Does this have something to do with you?" Jason looked at Kevin awkwardly. Just as he was about to attack Kevin physically, he remembered what had happened at Grandma Jones's birthday party and he lost his nerve. Just as the Joneses were about to leave, they heard a charming voice from the mansion's foyer. "May I ask if Grandma Jones is here?" Grandma Jones recognized Brittany at a glance and her face fell. "Why, Brittany, please don't be angry. The problems at the show were all our fault and it will cost us dearly. Rest assured that I've already taught Lily a lesson. She's been pulled from all our company projects." When Brittany heard this, she turned to look at Lily. Lily could barely make eye contact. "Please don't blame yourself, Lily. I've already looked into this, and it isn't your fault at all." Everyone was stunned to hear this. Brittany turned and shouted towards the door. "You guys can come in now. Tell Grandma Jones everything that happened." They all saw the 4 Williams Media sound engineers walk in slowly, looking incredibly guilty. One of the Williams employees pointed right at Jason and shouted, "It's him! It was Jason Jones who ordered us to do it." "That's right. He gave us $75,000 each to sabotage Brittany's microphone." The third employee finally spoke up and said, "Mr. Jones also said that he would give us each another $75,000 after it was done. I've never seen any of you guys before. We're telling the truth. I still have a record of the bank transfer. I haven't moved a single cent of the money he gave me. I've got proof too." Jason was furious. He stared at them as they stood there holding out their phones. "Jason, are you really responsible for all this?" Jason didn't know what to say to her. After a while, Grandma Jones took a deep breath and looked at Brittany awkwardly. "You'll have to forgive Jason. He's young and foolish. If you want to blame someone, blame me for not teaching him better." "I'm disappointed in you, Jason. As of right now, I forbid you to be involved in our family business. And I also forbid you to leave the property for 1 year. Yes, Grandma. Are you satisfied now? That's all in the past now, but I do have a request. In order to prevent this kind of thing from happening again, Lily will be my contact for any further projects. I don't want to work with anyone else. Just when everyone thought that Brittany had finished, she walked up to Kevin and asked him, Mr. Williams, what do you think of my solution? Very good. With Grandma Jones giving him a very dirty look, Kevin slowly walked out of the mansion. Lily trotted out of the front door right behind him and said, Kevin, wait a second. What's the matter, my love? Lily blushed a little when Kevin called her that. Kevin, tell me honestly, did you already know the truth before you came here? And how do you know Brittany? Why did she call you Mr. Williams? Don't tell me you're jealous. I won't tease you anymore. To tell you the truth, Brittany and I went to school together. If you were classmates, then why did she call you Mr. Williams? And why did she come over and ask if you were okay with her decision? However, before Lily could press the issue any further, Kevin's phone suddenly rang. It must be my boss looking for me. I have to head to work. Take care of yourself. Kevin didn't give Lily a chance to ask any more questions. He just turned around and left. He saw that it was Phoebe calling. Hello, Miss Anderson. Kevin, I really need your help. I'm at the store. I'll be waiting for you at the door when you get here. Kevin waved down a taxi and got to Anderson Antiques in half an hour. As he paid the fare, he felt something in the pit of his stomach. As they walked toward the middle of the room, they could hear at least 10 of the local antique shop owners arguing loudly. I'd bet everything I own. This painting is definitely authentic. Then a third one responded, You don't know what you're talking about. Just look at the frame. There's no way this is genuine. Kevin squeezed through the crowd and saw a man watching all of this with a distraught look on his face. It was Phoebe's father, Truman Anderson. He was examining a landscape painting very attentively. Dad, what do you think? Do you want me to ask another appraiser to take a look? Just then, the man who was trying to sell them the painting asked nervously, Mr. Anderson, can't you see that this is an authentic landscape? We need a decision right away. This certainly looks like a 17th century Dutch landscape. The material looks authentic and I can even see the proper copper and iron pigments. Something's not right. While they were all discussing the painting, Kevin slowly walked up and asked, May I take a look? Aren't you Dorothy Jones's son-in-law? Dad, this is the antique appraiser that I brought in as a consultant. Please be careful. If it turns out to be a forgery, we don't want to owe this man anything for damages, Truman said. Don't worry, sir. The atmosphere in the room changed. Everyone watched patiently to see if Kevin would make a fool of himself. After only half a minute, Kevin's eyes flashed and he stood up straight with an astonished look on his face. How much does he want for it? $200,000. That sounds about right. Can you tell me why this thing is worth $200,000? Have you ever heard of someone named Vermeer? Of course I have. One of the finest Dutch masters. But he only painted 2 landscapes in his lifetime. How could this possibly be a Vermeer? Look closely at the style, the artist's use of light and shadow. There's a distinctive depth to this piece. And the pigments match Vermeer's preferences too. This is a lost Vermeer landscape. I'm certain of it. Truman looked at Kevin in surprise. This time he pulled a magnifying glass out of his suit pocket. Less than a minute later, Truman practically jumped up and down. Mr. Landau, please arrange for this gentleman's payment. Hurry up before the seller changes his mind. Fine, then go ahead and pay me. I still have other things to do today, and I've already wasted a lot of time here. Kevin laughed to himself. The man had no idea what he was giving up for only $200,000. He obviously knew nothing about art, just some guy making a quick buck. So how did someone like that get hold of such a valuable piece of art? Kevin really wanted to find out. Kevin had correctly identified a lost Vermeer landscape in the store, but then he suddenly noticed a few traces of dirt on the painting. Then he recalled that when he bent down to look at the painting, there was a slight moldy scent. Could this painting have been buried somewhere? As soon as he stepped out of the door, he spotted the man who had just sold the painting. Then he tailed him to see where he could be heading. He He saw the man go below street level to Wacker Drive. This was in a part of the underground street that was off the beaten path. Greg, did you sell that thing? I sold the painting for $200,000. Easy money. Should we head down to the south side again tonight and see what else we can dig up?
Yeah, Max, good idea.
Kevin, who was hiding in the shadows, heard everything they were saying. He couldn't believe it. Could they be grave robbers? Just then, the head grave robber suddenly looked over to where he was hiding. Who's over there? You guys are really bold. Robbing tombs? Aren't you superstitious? Kevin was stunned to see Officer Emmett. You know you're interrupting a private meeting. Actually, she'd been aware of this group of thieves for a long time. Early this morning, she spotted them near one of the older cemeteries on the south side. She followed them here. She wanted to call for backup, but the cell signal was really crappy down there under the street. You're under arrest. I've recorded your conversation and thanks for having it out here in public, where I wouldn't need a warrant. If you surrender quietly, I might ask the court to go easy on you. I'll tell you what, why don't you come with us? Then a few more men came out of the shadows and joined them. Emmett instinctively reached for her hip, but she wasn't in uniform, so her service weapon was locked up safely at the station. Just as Kevin was about to show himself, he saw Officer Emmett knock one of them to the ground with a beautiful sidekick. Put your hands on your heads and kneel on the ground. The man jumped up, pulled out a switchblade, and held it to her throat. Not today, officer. It looks like maybe we're gonna be arresting you instead. He motioned for the others to tie her up with their belts. You guys really are scum. Kevin, hurry up and call the police. Shut up, Johnny said as he grabbed her mouth and poured in a bottle of pills. Kevin saw the other thugs starting to move towards him. He ripped through them in seconds, tossing the large men left and right. Who the hell are you? Who am I? I'm an antiques appraiser. After he said this, the man fainted. Officer Emmett looked like she was in shock. Are you all right? Do you think you can stand up? Kevin took the belts and walked over to the unconscious men. He began to search their bodies as he tied them up. He found a pill bottle. Looks like they were tranquilizers. I may have swallowed a couple, but it would still be nice to get an ambulance down here right away. And a couple of squad cars. Kevin nodded and then he took out his phone to call for help. Why are you here? This guy sold a 17th century Dutch landscape to Anderson Antiques. I had my suspicions, so I followed him here. Tell me honestly, who are you really? What I mean is, what school of martial arts are you from? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. I know what I saw. When you defeated these men, your moves look spontaneous. But I saw something deeper in your movements. I've studied martial arts for years, and I studied Eastern philosophy in college. You were keeping something from me. Officer Emmett, you stream a lot of kung fu movies in your off time, don't you? Do you still want to play dumb? Didn't you take an oath not to let outsiders see you using your techniques? I have no idea what you're talking about. I used to practice some Taekwondo when I was a kid. Everything I just did was entirely subconscious. Of course I'm talking about developing your inner power. A lot of people spend years working on this. You seem to be tapping into it without even trying. This sounds like a comic book or something. Are you kidding me? Trust me, I'm deadly serious. There's a lot going on that the average person doesn't know about. And there are some very powerful people who have decided to put their energy into developing businesses, believe it or not. They've become wealthy entrepreneurs and some of them have very powerful families. Even with all her training, the few pills that she'd taken were starting to make her sleepy. They heard sirens approaching. Looks like the cavalry's here. Wait, take me home. Can you please do this for me? Kevin nodded and waited for the officers to arrive. Officer Emmett mustered enough strength to give them their orders so they could take the men to the station for processing. Kevin managed to get Officer Emmett home safely. I'm really curious. How did you get your strength? If you haven't gotten it through any special training, did you have any help from someone? Help? He thought of the 2 pills Cook had given him. They were supposed to help him restore his strength. Maybe they did something more, and he quickly took out his phone and called his friend. Mitch, I want to know what was in those pills you gave me.
One of them was supposed to help boost your energy levels, and the other was supposed to help you with your focus. Why are you suddenly asking me about this? Are you having a problem because of the pills?
No, don't worry. I'm fine. Just curious. His eyes fell on the top shelf of her bookcase. There were a lot of martial arts books, guides to natural health, but there were also a couple of old books with tattered spines. Kevin walked over and took them down. The first one he opened was a very old translation of an ancient book on training your ki, your inner power. He was surprised to find that it talked a lot about what Officer Emmett had been saying about training your internal energy. It was a quick read, maybe because of his recent improvement in his focus. Kevin put that book aside and flipped open another one. It talked about the yin and yang, negative and positive energy, and harmony, as well as some ways to make natural medications. When Officer Emmett woke up and saw that Kevin was still there, she immediately jumped up from her chair. "Why haven't you left yet? I've got something here and I hope it can help you," Kevin said as he slowly took a reddish-brown pill from his pocket.
Hi, Kevin here. If you were wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Insta Empire now with the link in the description.